If you have ever finished a garment and found that the starting edge pulled tighter than the rest of every other row, or you notice that the first row of double crochets looks stiffer than the rest of the fabric, you were probably working from a chain foundation when a foundation double crochet would have solved that problem. Today, we're going to learn how to build the foundation double crochet completely and talk about exactly why it produces a better edge and when it matters most. Hey there, bestie. I'm Michelle of YesMichelle Crochets, and as your crochet bestie, I'm here to help you build a fiber arts foundation that actually makes sense. This is the Cozy Encyclopedia, episode 13. We've covered the foundation single crochet and the foundation half double crochet in the previous 2 episodes. Today, we're going to complete the foundation stitch family with the foundation double crochet. The most useful of the 3 for garment work and one of the most underused techniques in this craft. Now, let's get started talking about it. The foundation double crochet, abbreviated FDC, builds a chain and a foundation of double crochets all in the same row. Like the foundation single crochet and foundation half double crochet, it eliminates that separate chain stitch that is your starting edge, and it gives your fabric more stretch and evenness and a better stitch definition than just the regular chain and then whatever the next stitch comes. Whether you're dealing with armholes, necklines, arm bands, or side seams, all the benefits start with having a strong foundation. And a foundation double crochet might just be the answer you've been looking for. And as I always like to share with you when we have this part of the conversation, there is no graph symbol for the foundation double crochet. You merely see it written in patterns. Now, the abbreviation for it will be either FDC or Foundation DC, always written in full. Because it is only noted in the written pattern, unless you're listening to a tutorial where someone says, we're going to build this using the foundation double crochet, that's its only placement and experience for you. Literally, it's a foundation, and that's where it is in the beginning. When a pattern uses the FDC for a buttonhole band around your neck, it's almost always because the designer specifically wanted the stretch of the foundation double crochet. Substituting a chain foundation in these cases will produce a tighter, less professional edge. As I said, there's no chart symbol warning you of this. You merely need to follow the instructions. Now, I don't want to send you down a long rabbit hole and make this unnecessarily long for a video. Grab your hooks and your notions, and of course your yarn and scissors, and let's learn how to build the foundation double crochet together. I'm going to switch to overhead so that you get to see the instructions. Okay, bestie, let's learn how to build the foundation double crochet. I've got my supplies ready. I hope you've got yours. I'm starting with a slip knot on my hook already placed and plenty of extra tail so that I can sew it in later. Now, what we're going to do is build a chain of 2. And here we are with me keeping it on my hook first. 1 and 2. Very simple, very easy. Now, the first things first, we're going to yarn over because we're building a foundation double crochet. We're also going to, and I'm going to bring that a little bit closer for you to see. These are our 2 chains. This, of course, is the working loop. It is nothing yet. But this is the chain we're going in. We're going to go right here in the side and utilize that back bar. So here, we're sliding in the side under it and the back bar and pulling up a working loop. Now, first things first, we're going to want to pinch that back yarn, that back working yarn that we're using, and build our chain first. So there's our chain. And then we're going to build the double crochet. And because we've done all of that, we're going to now mark what is the top of the first double crochet. Of course, you know it's the first double crochet because it's right behind the loop on your hook. This is the crown of your double crochet. Now remember me pinching that yarn? It looks a little awkward and loose, but it's important because it tells me exactly where to slip in at. So again, working loop on hook, yarning over, slipping into that front bar and under the back bar, grabbing the yarn and pulling up a loop. Now I'm going to pinch my working yarn yet again. Yarn over and pull through with a loop, giving us again 3 loops on our hook. And this is that foundation chain that we needed. And then we're going to create our double crochet. Now that's 2. Again, yarn over, slip under that first bar and that back bar. Always make sure you have 2 bars before you pull through to build your chain. Pinch your yarn, make your chain, and then make your double crochet. And yes, that's 1, 2, 3. I kind of feel like the count right now. But counting is critical here because you don't want to make more stitches than you need. Now again, yarn over, slipping under the front bar, skipping everything in the middle and grabbing the back bar, pulling up a loop, pinching that working yarn, building the chain, and then building the double crochet. And we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yarn over, grab that front bar, jump over everything and grab the back bar, pull up a loop, build your chain after pinching your working yarn, and then build your double crochet. That's 5. Front loop, back loop, grab your yarn, pinch, build your chain. Now build your double crochet. Again, grab that front bar, jump over everything, grab the back bar, pull up a working loop, pinch the working yarn, create your chain, then create your double crochet. And let's count because it's always important to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We are at 7. We need 3 more. Yarn over, pick up that first loop, slide under the second loop, pinch your working yarn and build your chain. And this makes 8 because that was our double crochet. Yarn over, slip into the front bar, grab the slide under the back bar, yarn over and pull up a loop. Pinch your working yarn, create your chain. This is 9. Sliding under that front bar, sliding under that back bar, pulling up a working loop, pinching the back working yarn, create your chain, create that double crochet. And because we need to count again, I'm going to grab my darning needle just for easy visuals. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and right here we have number 10. Now, when you've built your foundation double crochets and you want to build a row of double crochets on top, you're going to chain 3 and turn your work face up. That means that your front stitches, the front face of your double crochets, is now facing away from you. The back of those stitches is now facing you. Because we chained 3, and in this case we're going to use this to count as our double crochet, I'm going to slip under both parts of the top of the double crochet below, yarn over, pull up a loop, slide through 2, slide through 2. Yes, we are simply making double crochets because our foundation is done. And if you've been doing this a while, you probably do this effortlessly and pretty quickly. I am filming myself, which makes me slow down just a little bit. But I also hope that by slowing down, that muscle memory kicks in for you and makes this feel easy and something you can complete almost mindless. Of course, despite it being mindless, we want to make sure that we've got the right count. So I'm going to pull up a long working loop. I'm going to stretch that out just a little bit. And I'm going to use my darning needle and count. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and here's 10. 10 successful double crochets built upon a foundation double crochet. And you might be asking yourself, well, how much different does it look than the traditional chain and double crochet build? First of all, this is a little bit more fiddly and tight. What you'll also notice is whereas both your tail and your working yarn are on the same side, they're on opposite sides here. It doesn't have that flat middle right here. So that's an issue, but it's also a little bit smaller by almost a stitch. And when it's a wearable, you want things to measure properly. So I would caution you on substituting the chain and double crochet where a pattern is calling for the foundation double crochet. Take the time, practice this stitch, and the same applies for the half double crochet and the half single, and for the single crochet in the foundation regions as well. Make sure you know how to do the stitches a pattern is calling for, because there's very likely a reason why the designer asked for that stitch. Now, let's go face to face and finish this conversation. And just like that, through the magic of editing, we're back. One of the things I love to do, in addition to encouraging you to try new things and learn new stitches, is share with me how things are going with your journey in crochet. If this was a new to you experience, and maybe you're still in the practicing phase, by all means practice. But do me a favor, head over to my community tab and share with me just a picture of your progress. 10 foundation double crochets in a row. I'd really love to see it. It also helps me know if there are certain points that I might want to elaborate on as we continue this journey, so that I make sure I'm giving you solid information of how to be a success with this. Now, I also like to share with you 3 of the most traditional mistakes found when doing stitches, so that you know what pitfalls to avoid. And let's start with the very first one that is most commonly seen. The most common foundation double crochet mistake is losing track of the pull-throughs. There are several steps to building this, and it can be quite a challenge. The key, of course, might in the beginning be as simple as remembering to pinch and talk yourself through each and every part. Pull through, building the chain, now creating the double crochet. Since you're doing 2 different steps at one time, Having that sequence in your mind until it's muscle memory can be a challenge, but it's very doable and you're quite capable. The second mistake is skipping the chain two-step setup. Remember when the beginning started out with we had a chain two and then we belt? Well, if you're skipping that part, you're making it more difficult for you to continue to work. Things are going to lean, twist, and bend in ways you don't want it to. Start out solid. And the third mistake, of course, is forgetting to use that back bar. Instead of using those 2 bars of insertion, a lot of people make a mistake by simply using one. It causes things to roll in a way you don't want them to, and it basically makes an uneven and sometimes unusable foundation. Listen, the foundation stitch family, the foundation single crochet, the foundation half double, and the foundation double crochets all represent the clearest examples in crochet of how knowing the anatomy of your stitches unlocks a better finished outcome. Most crocheters who struggle with starting edges have never been shown a different foundation method, and that is the thing that closes the door on them being more successful. Here in the Cozy Encyclopedia, I'm all about opening the door, making things easier for you, and showing you the behind the scenes tricks of the trade, as it were. All of these things have workarounds, but I want you to be able to work through them rather than skirting around them. We don't need to put a band-aid on something we can simply do right the first time. The foundation double crochet is a solution. It's not a workaround. It's a structural fix. And now that you have all 3 of the foundation stitches in your toolkit, you can match your foundation method based on whatever the project demands. That's the kind of craft literacy that makes finished projects look like they were made by someone who knows what they're doing, because you do now. Next week in episode 14, we're going to be shifting from individual stitch structure to working in the round, specifically the difference between continuous spiral rounds and joined rounds, and why the anatomy of each produces a very different result in your fabric. Now do me a favor. Drop me a ladder emoji in the comments and tell me, please tell me, have you ever had a starting edge that pulled tighter than the rest of your work? And if so, what did you do about it? I really want to hear from you, and I really want to know how it's working out for you. By all means, I have to ask, please subscribe to the channel so that you never miss an episode of the Cozy Encyclopedia. New episodes drop every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Central, and I never leave the left-handed people out. The left-handed version always drops at 2:30 p.m. Central. And when I can, I will try to make the right-handed version, the 2 p.m. version, a premiere. So please, please, please join me for that. Sometimes shenanigans ensues, but education is always right on the horizon. And until I see you again, have some fun today. Practice your stitches, and I'll see you again very soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.